NASA has released its findings from a long-awaited study on unexplained flying objects. The U.S. Space Agency has announced last year that it was reviewing evidence regarding unidentified anomalous phenomena, or UAPs, which has now replaced the term UFO. The subject has long fascinated the public, and the study could eventually usher in a new mission for NASA, moving away from debunking sightings to taking them more seriously now. NASA has released a long-awaited report on UFOs. A team of 16 experts who compiled the review said that it is not a review of previous UAP incidents. NASA is to appoint a director for UAP research who will now be talking about using NASA's vast resources to maximize this entire project. Releasing the 33-page report, NASA said that the study of UFOs, or unidentified flying objects, will require new scientific techniques, including advanced satellites, as well as a shift in how unidentified flying objects are being perceived. At the outset, NASA said that at this point there is no reason to conclude that existing unidentified aerial phenomenon reports have an extraterrestrial source. During the release of the report, NASA Administrator Bill Nelson said he believes there's other life out there in the universe. And NASA also said it's naming a new director of research into UAPs as an expert panel urged the space agency to increase its efforts to gather information on them. Here's more.
Based on our current findings and methodology, that we find no evidence to suggest that UAP are extraterrestrial in origin. Our focus is on understanding the phenomenon, however, regardless of the source. And previous work from the ARROW has shown that most events are explainable as planes, balloons, drones, weather phenomena, and instrument features.
We, NASA, deal openly, and we will be transparent on this. And we're trying to address the question of there's so much concern that there's something locked up, classified, and that the American government is not being open. Well, we are the American government, and we are open, and we're going to be open about this.
The reasons that we restricted ourselves, this study, to unclassified data is because we can speak openly about it. And in so doing, we're aiming, again, to alter the discourse from sensationalism to science, as Administrator Nelson beautifully said. NASA personnel, as appropriate, know how to talk to DoD on a classified basis, but the purpose of this study was to tell us what open data we could use in combination with the power of science to move our understanding forward.
In June of last year, NASA commissioned an independent study team to examine unidentified anomalous phenomena. We did so with a few goals in mind. First, to examine how NASA can use our expertise and instruments to study UAP from a scientific perspective. Second, shift the conversation about UAP from sensationalism to science, and to make sure that whatever we find or whatever we recommend, to make sure that information is shared transparently. If you ask me, do I believe there's life in a universe that is so vast that it's hard for me to comprehend how big it is? My personal answer is yes. But I asked some of our scientists. As a matter of fact, the Washington Post editorial board asked us to come down to the question, what is the mathematical probability that there is life out there in the universe? And if you calculate in billions of stars, in billions of galaxies, that there's replicated what I just said, another stony planet. The answer was, what's the likelihood? At least 1 trillion. And the top takeaway from the study is that there is a lot more to learn. The NASA independent study team did not find any evidence that UAP have an extraterrestrial origin, but we don't know what these UAP are. That's why I'm announcing that NASA has appointed a NASA Director of UAP Research.